Bryant's jockstrap. Get him out of here. Ah!
How does that not indicate to you, like, hey, sometimes, like, these prospects are awesome?
Now, get back. They snatched that chain, boy. Get back. What y'all gonna do about it? Popeye snatched that chain. Get back. We want that snack wrap. They got 3 flavors. Y'all got 1. Get back.
Hey, everybody. Welcome into The Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. I'm Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Pannone, Rob Watson joining me today. Fellas, it is Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. Plenty on the docket today. Details emerged from Quinshon Judkins' arrest. Cavaliers front office rewarded with extensions. Cal Riley, the year the big dumper, continues. Teddy Bridgewater suspended for, quote, impermissible benefits at his high school program where he led them to a championship in his first year. We'll talk about all that and more on today's show. Fellas, how are we doing today? Rob, we were watching a little bit of Huddle this morning, going back to the old vault. You miss ball. I was thinking about today. I miss playing baseball. That was a sport I played the longest in my career. I miss playing rec basketball. I wasn't athletic and good enough to play college like yourself, but I had some filthy NYB tape out there, Rob.
I do miss ball, but I appreciate it for everything that it was. I don't really like sit and think like all the time, like, oh man, like peaked in high school type, or like I need to go back. I just appreciate it and what it was. But those Joey Pfaff highlights I was looking at though, I saw my boy slinging the pill. I think a young Matt Ryan kind of deal.
Wow.
But others are saying Daniel Jones with no speed. I feel like that's a slight to my boy Joey Pfaff. I don't like that at all. So I'll call out the critics on that one.
Jack,
Are you looking at me for the critics?
Yeah.
Gosh. Oh, wow. I don't know. I mean, I don't think Matt Ryan is fair. I think Joey's got a little bit more legs than Matt Ryan. I don't know if he has the arm of Matt Ryan,
First
though.
of all, pause. Matt Ryan's a solid ass
what I'm
comp.
saying. He's a good quarterback.
He went to a Super Bowl. Yeah, he's a great quarterback.
That's a league MVP.
Yeah, no, it is, but I don't think he fits Joey's
You
style. I
said
think
he
they're
was
very different
Daniel
quarterbacks.
Jones without the speed. So what?
That's what Luke said. I didn't say that.
What is that at the QB, bro?
What?
Who is Daniel Jones without legs? What?
Someone in the CFL, probably.
All right, guys.
Daniel Jones might be heading there
Yeah,
next.
he might be there regardless, yeah.
Speaking of interesting battles, that one's going to be one to monitor.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson obviously trying to get back to full health. We'll see if Daniel Jones can lead the Colts to, I think, their first division title in quite some time, guys. I want to say back when Andrew Luck was the quarterback was the last time they won the AFC South. But anyway, we're sticking in the AFC North here with our Cleveland Browns. Yes, Quinshon Judkins was, of course, arrested in Florida, but after our show, new details emerged from that arrest. Come to find out, I believe it was Tom Pelissaro on the report first, but the accuser told police he punched her with a closed fist, of course talking about Quinshon Judkins, in the chin-lip area, later struck her in the left arm and thigh while they were in the car leaving the airport on July 7th. The details are still pretty murky, guys, but it's believed some text messages from the victim's family were read, upset Quinshon Judkins, and that led to the assault. Now, obviously, this is all still alleged, innocent until proven guilty. Beautiful America. But the details do not look good for Quinshon Judkins. I think if you're a betting man, he's going to miss some time.
Yeah, now that there's a narrative, and again, all of this is alleged, it's innocent until proven guilty by both the U.S. legal system and the National Football League. They're going to go in and do their own independent investigation that'll be completely separate from the state of Florida and, whatever's to happen with Quinshon Judkins and that legal process. But yeah, I think at this point, now that we've got a narrative built out similar to what we had last year with Mike Hall, it's time to imagine a world where the Browns are probably going to be without the guy that we expected to be their starting running back to start the season. And that's not a good thing, because this is a year where we were talking about the Browns potentially playing 4 different quarterbacks, 3 of those being very young quarterbacks. You obviously would like to have a really nice run game. And now there's some serious questions again about the identity of this offense heading into the year. This stinks, man. This stinks out loud.
I was gonna say also too, adding on to that, Nick, like if he ends up on the commissioner's exempt list or something like that, even if it's for a short amount of time, or once the league finally does take action against it, that takes you out of the building too. So in terms of just being around, meeting the guys, learning plays. I know so much of what the offseason is intended for, and how this is the biggest offseason of your career, your first year in the league, and it's not a good start.
Are we not just so sick of this, man? It's something every time with us,
Yeah.
And I'm so sick of talking about stuff that's not football. We're already bad enough at that. Why do we also have to be bad at being good people? Allegedly in this case, but the track record of all the other stuff that's happened, it's just something I'm sick of talking about. And it's just it sounds so bad because it's pro sports, and I get like people saying like sometimes you need bad guys in certain situations, but it's like if we're gonna be bad at football, let's at least not be like doing all this extra stuff.
Well, and here's the thing with it too. Now the bad off the field will leak into the bad on the field. Think about this. Like Mike Hall was only suspended 5 games last year. He didn't really show up though until week 12. You know, it takes rookies a couple of weeks to get their feet wet. I think that goes for the offensive and the defensive side of the football. So say it's a similar story for Quinshon Judkins and he gets suspended 5 or 6 games. I mean, you can't expect to really see him in his truest form until the season's probably already over into November and December, until he finally shakes off the rust. He could potentially miss training camp and pieces of, that mandatory part of the season because of the contract with the guaranteed money, and that's going to be another issue. So this stinks. There is no good thing that you can take away from this situation because it's bad off the field. It's going to seep into being bad on the field, and it's just no good.
The whole Browns rookie class this year, at least in my recent memory, was going to make, or at least supposed to make, one of the most immediate impacts in recent memory. Like, Quinshon Judkins is going to come in, and you could say Jerome Ford is still going to be the RB1, but as soon as Quinshon Judkins touches that field, the talent's going to vault him to that. Harold Fannin is going to be a big part of the offense, obviously. Mason Graham will be the starting defensive tackle. Carson Schlesinger, after the departure of JOK, well, not departure, but health-wise, was going to come in and make an immediate impact. And Quinshon Judkins was the one I was looking at was going to make the most impact because that running back room outside of him is so sparse. Pierre Strong, Jerome Ford, obviously you draft Dylan Sampson, which is good. But, guys, Jerome Ford is not an RB1. Just in 3 years, most 813 yards back in 2023. Only 565 yards last year, only 104 attempts. But the proof is in the pudding, guys. Like, Jerome Ford is not an RB1 no matter which way you want to shape it. And Quinshon Judkins was going to come in and revamp what was supposed to be a whole new offense philosophy shift back to what it was with the heavy sets, 12 personnel. And I was just so excited to watch Quinshon Judkins run the ball because if the offensive line could stay healthy, I could easily see him surpassing 1,000 yards. I don't even think that's a big stretch. And then I had him leading the Browns in touchdowns this season.
I was going to ask you guys.
All out the window now.
So sad about this, too, because you know how, hype he was? You know how he was the guy every time? Ryan was so ready, and I just feel like stuff like this takes it all out of you because it's just like you're planning a whole season. Even what little faith you can have, you're putting it all on certain people, and you get stuff like this. It's just the black cloud is never leaving over this team, it feels. It's just always something. Even when we're even taking the slightest half a step forward, we're still going to take 14 steps back. It's just sad, man.
What do you guys think the split of carries will be for Ford and Sampson until Judkins is back?
The thing is, Sampson's only 5'8".
Yes.
So it's not like
he's not a bell cow either.
We're back to Ford getting the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
Carries,
Ford, at this point, if you're running out Ford, Pierre Strong, and Dylan Sampson, you're going to have to give Jerome Ford, dare I say, 12, 14 carries a game, which is not a recipe to move the offense.
On the bright side, though, we'll get to see what the QB's got because now the run game's back to being mid again, but it won't be something to respect to let the quarterbacks really thrive.
Doesn't this set up Joe Flacco so well
Yeah,
to be
it
the
does.
week 1 starter? I think there's, now you could finally drop some of the BS that was out there with Kenny Pickett. And I do think they're eventually going to get the rookies ready to go in short order. Again, this is messed up to talk about. Because something serious did happen off the field here. But I think if you're the Browns, if you're Kevin Stefanski, you got to be sitting in your office today with your fingers and toes crossed that it's only 6 games for Judkins. So that way, after that brutal start to the season, when you could get past the bye week, you can look to handing the keys over to either Gabriel or Shador Sanders. Because I just can't imagine a world, even if it is Joe Flacco, who I think we were all excited when they brought back, that the start of the season just goes well at all. With no Judkins, with that schedule, this is all. We're not even halfway through July, and this is already. I could see that. I could see the movie.
I'm out again.
I
was never in, but now I'm even further out.
Frustrating, man. You can't win games without a run game, and we talk about so much how we wanted the offense to alleviate the pressure on the defense this season, and Quinshon was going to be such a big part of that. And I know he'll come back in maybe 6 games, whatever the suspension is. I hope it's only 3 or 4, but who knows at this point. Regardless, it's just don't hit women. Be smart. You have a chance to start your legacy in the NFL and make millions of dollars, and you do something so stupid and let your emotions get the hold of you, and it's just so disappointing that it's become a pattern here for our Cleveland Browns. All the way. Any other way, NFL news, Garrett Wilson signs a 4-year, $130 million extension with the New York Jets. $90 million guaranteed, $20 million option bonus in the second year, $10 million option bonus in the third year. 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons for the Ohio State product. Extension pays him an annual average $32.5 million. That is 5th in the league among wide receivers. I believe it's Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, DK Metcalf, and Garrett Wilson round out the top 5. Good for the New York Jets. I think it's good to give Aaron Glenn a foundation. If you can get Sauce Gardner locked up on the other side, see what Justin Fields can cook in New York Jets, I think it'll be better than last year.
That does kind of suck, though, because I think after that primetime game and the quote from Garrett Wilson about how cool it was playing in Cleveland at night, like I think everyone secretly kind of wanted the Ohio State kid back eventually in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it'll come in 6 years, but
I just want him to get a quarterback that's going to sustain him in his prime. And I don't think it's going to be Justin Fields because Garrett Wilson is a very special talent. You got Aaron Rodgers, who that never worked out. Obviously, before that, Zach Wilson. We'll see what Justin Fields can do. But at the same time, even if he's good in winning games, it's not going to produce a top 5 wide receiver in terms of stat line. It's just not the quarterback he is.
I was going to say good for him, but it's like, like nothing happens this year in my mind. Like Fields is what he is. Another like cool year. Garrett Wilson, super highlight catches, but inconsistent.
Just ride out 3 years. Sign another contract. You'll have generational wealth at that point, and then you go to a Super Bowl contender.
Maybe you get Nussmeier or whoever. Maybe they suck and they get Manning in the draft in a couple years. But it's like he's signing away to just continue to be this guy that we all know has all this talent, but is just going to consistently get like barely 1,000 yards with just like super mid quarterback play, and it's sad, man.
Let's take our first break. When we get back, we're flipping over to basketball. Dan Gilbert rewards the number 1 seed in the East with contract extensions. Pivotal offseason for our Cavaliers, but at least we know they're locked down. We'll talk about that when we get back on The Big Factor. Hey, everybody. Welcome back into The Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. I'm Ryan Tyler, joined by Jack O'Rourke, Nick Pannone, Rob Watson, and, of course, I talk about him every day. I'm going to continue doing it. Fairway Ford, Ohio. Fairway Ford is the biggest Ford truck dealership in the entire state of Ohio. They have the largest selection of Ford F-150s, and they will not be beat on price by any other Ford dealers. Employee pricing for everybody. You pay less than what they pay. Pre-tariff pricing on all Fords. Over 500 vehicles in stock on their lot. There's never been a better time to buy. There's never been a better time to drive down to Canfield to save thousands of dollars and potentially find your new dream vehicle. Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, the lowest pricing and same hometown level service. Scan that QR code now or go give their website a visit, fairwayfordohio.com. Again, that's fairwayfordohio.com. Guys, I miss Fairway Ford. We were there a couple weeks ago. Jack got a whip around in the white Bronco. It was a great time.
Great time.
I can't believe how big their lot was. I keep saying, I'll say it again. Like, I've never seen that many cars in one place.
Yeah, I saw Mike. Mike peeked back around yesterday for Mike Mondays, so all is right in the world. Even though we got a low sports week, we're gonna pick back up. We'll be okay.
Alrighty. Well, speaking of ball, I guess Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't even know when we talked about ball. That was a bad analogy. But speaking of the Cavaliers, Dan Gilbert has rewarded the front office with contract extensions. Kobe Altman's locked up through the 2029-30 season. The team announced Monday night. In addition to that, General Manager Mike Ganzi and Assistant GM Brandon Weems, Vice President of Basketball Operations and General Counsel Jason Hillman, and Vice President of Basketball Strategy and Personnel John Nichols, the whole band with multi-year extensions. Quote from Dan Gilbert: Kobe Altman has demonstrated that he is the right person to lead this franchise. He's not only an outstanding team builder, but he also has created an exceptional culture. Kobe not only has a great nose for basketball talent, but he has recruited and developed extraordinary front office talent as well. This unique combination has positioned our franchise to compete for championships for years to come. Well, one guy who had a couple words to say via social media about these contract extensions, that was LeBron James. He says, yes, sir. Congratulations to my brother, Brandon Weems. Super Proud of you, man. The front office for our Cleveland Cavaliers is locked up for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, pretty cool. You know, like, and I know we'll get into the LeBron stuff because that's what people want to hear me talk about. But I think even without the LeBron stuff, Kobe Altman has done a really good job with these Cavs. And that was kind of the one knock on Dan as an owner. What was his, lack of commitment to GMs and head coaches, and he had a really quick trigger finger. So it's very nice to see that Kobe is a guy that's now been extended twice by our Cavs. Like, that's stability right there that you don't really see in the NBA, and he has done a really nice job kind of bringing us out of the ashes, that we were left in 2018, to have an actual Eastern Conference title contender, even without LeBron in uniform. So it's been solid, and all of these are well deserved.
Oh well, I mean, to me, I don't know. I didn't think too much about this though. I mean, good for Kobe Altman, good for the team, but I'm just waiting on what you're gonna do this year. I mean, it's good everyone got extended, but I don't really see how we're gonna get over the hump currently as the team is. But I'm looking for the next move, whether it is LeBron, whether it's something else. It's the year to take the shot at it, take your stab at it, but good for them getting their signing. But then if you continue to have this middling failure, I could see that being a thing where maybe there's some buyer's remorse from Dan Gilbert on that. But at the same time, if you're putting on a passable product, I'm sure he's turning a profit at the same time, so he isn't too upset about it.
And that's the thing too, right? Like, it's hard to get that excited about these kind of extensions when you're talking about a guy like Dan Gilbert who has really endless money. The extensions don't really mean a whole lot. In a way, it does, but at the same time, I don't think, even if it would take something drastic for Kobe Altman to get fired next year, but like, say in 2 years, things aren't looking good, then maybe you could change some things up. Like, this doesn't really matter a ton, and what really did matter was the tweet that you put up, Ryan, about it.
I wanted to ask you guys, like, in a world where LeBron doesn't happen, is there any more changes coming to the starting five or the rotation, do you think, or do you think this kind of stays pat to the season?
I think it's probably like changes. I think Kobe said it in his postseason availability. He said something along the lines of, changes on the margins is how they wanted to operate, which is what they've done. If you think about what they've done, macro view this offseason, you lost Isaac Okoro, you lost Ty Jerome, you gained Larry Nance Jr., you gained Lonzo Ball. I have my questions, I think, similar to Rob. Is that enough, is what I would ask Cavs fans out there. Does Larry Nance and Lonzo Ball for Isaac Okoro and Ty Jerome make you feel that much better about this team's chances come the NBA playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, it's an upgrade if everything goes right. Those are two people who have been known to have some injuries. So, I mean, if Lonzo's there, I think it's good for the team. Larry Nance, we needed another big, but I'm still saying I would want to see another move. I was still on that. Before this LeBron thing, I was on the trying to trade Jared Allen for like a Trey Murphy to get another wing in here and add a different lineup piece, someone who could score and be a shooter on the outside off the wing. But if we stay pat, it's like, yeah, we'll be in it, but I'm still I wouldn't be super confident that we ever take that next step to get to the conference finals, depending on the seeding.
Can I take your guys' temperature real quick on LeBron? Can we do a...
How are you going to take it?
All right. Day one thermometer is opening night, percentage chance he's on the Cavs, and then game one of the playoffs, percentage on the Cavs. So if you think it could be in season.
Why the playoffs? Why not just
because or trade deadline?
Yeah,
I guess.
deadline type deal. Okay.
I don't think it could happen.
I don't think it happens if the season starts. It has to happen in the offseason.
So it has to be before.
Yeah, I'd say like 50-50 chance.
Wow.
I think it's seriously a thing. I think I'm saying that when he puts his mind to something, he could become toxic if you want to keep him around. Like, as much as I love LeBron, like if he's set on something, there will be clear, like, he will make it known and there will be issues, and you will see that whole culture, which is already shaky in LA, become something that could be a bit of a problem. So I think he wants to leave, and I seriously don't really see many suitors other than Cleveland. I know there were the 4 teams that called. out of those 4, I don't know why he'd want to go to the other 3. So I'd say it's a 50% chance. Some people are gonna obviously, Nick's been getting flack the whole offseason talking about LeBron. People are sad. They don't want to be happy. It's like, why would you be upset at the chance of us getting a top 2 player of all time and then possibly winning a championship? I swear some people just like to be mad, but misery likes company, and it is what it is. I'm saying 50-50 though, but for the deadline thing, I don't see any move happening midseason for LeBron James at all.
I mean, I think it's a little irresponsible to put a 50-50 just because, the 52 million, you got to find a way. The thing is, you got to find the third team. Who's the third team willing to tango? And
Wizards, where we at?
Yeah.
Take Jared Allen.
Give me
Take
a
that money.
really bad team. So I can't put it 50-50. As much as I want it to happen, I would say my want for it to happen is probably 250%, to 0% that I didn't want it to happen. But I think realistic chance of it happening, I'll give you 25, 75. Okay. Which I think is
pretty damn good to get the best player of all time.
And I think that's wildly higher.
I've been told numerous times at one point it was impossible. And then over the weekend from Sam Amico, I got 1% out of Amico.
Oh wow!
So Amico gave me a
1%.
He went from 0 to 1.
He picked up that phone, Sam. I think it's higher than 1. I don't
know.
know.
1% every day.
People would have said KD was 0, but we were picking up that phone too, and it sounds like something was about ready to go through until last second things. One person just doesn't want to go there. KD didn't want to come to Cleveland. I think LeBron wants to. So if they could get the deal done, I think there's a higher chance.
And how about this? I gave it a 25% chance. Isn't that kind of accurate? 4 teams called Rich Paul to inquire. You're one of 4 teams. You got a 25% chance.
I can't see on your point.
Maybe a little bit less though, because the Lakers exist.
Could stay, so we can make it 20%.
So it's 1 out of 5.
But out of those 4 teams mentioned, LeBron going to Golden State
not going
would
to
just
Clippers.
be such a poverty ending. Don't do that.
That's why I don't.
And
none
then
of those
and then
teams work.
same thing for the Clippers to go play with James Harden.
Yeah, take the Clippers back out.
Just
How
go
about
from
25%?
one LA team to the
doesn't
next,
work.
and then to go to the Mavericks. I
Imagine-
suppose it'd be cool, but let's be real. Anthony
Imagine him in
Davis
that
Well, did you-
jersey.
is going to
Imagine
get
LeBron in a
injured
Mavs jersey,
and just come
bro.
to the Cavs and play in the simpleton East.
They were by no means
Bro, if he
East.
wants another crack at a ring, there's this one option, bro.
Yeah.
Beat the Knicks. That's it.
I was gonna say I don't think it's credible, so I'm gonna throw that out before I even make the statement. But I saw a bunch of buzz on Twitter this morning about Cavs and Mavericks trade going down at Summer League. I saw. Did you see that too?
That's ball. I think that's ball sack.
Is that ball sack?
I think so.
Well, they have 0. It's not like an actual
Centel.
account. It's not it wasn't like a Centel type thing. It's like a burner account.
Right. It's
But they reported 2 weeks ago the Dame to the Celtics thing. So that's why they're getting the whatever 1% of credibility is currently on Twitter.
All right, we're going to move on, but real quick, Bleacher Report released their top 100 players in the NBA of all time. Any gripes? 1, Michael Jordan. 2, LeBron James. 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 4, Magic Johnson. 5, Bill Russell.
Immediate gripe right there. 5. He played in 19, whatever. He shouldn't be top 5. Great player, did amazing things for the league, but he's not the 5th best player of all time. 5th best legacy, maybe. They need to start changing the names of these lists. You know what I mean? But Kobe Bryant not in the top 10. Hakeem Olajuwon at 12 and Bill Russell's at 5. That's all I have to say about that.
Big Diesel at number 6. Tim Duncan, the big fundamental, at 7. The Hick from Van Lick. Larry Bird, number 8.
No argument.
Wilt Chamberlain, number 9.
He shouldn't be up
We need
there
to see
that
that
high
film.
either,
And
bro.
10, Steph Curry. All right, guys, we're going to take a
You think
break.
he scored 100 points real quick?
Yeah, apparently. I've seen plenty of video. I saw a video of him walking around with Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, bro. Show me the tape, bro.
I've never seen the tape either.
But I need to see a video of him.
You know
playing basketball.
you know what the league should do before AI gets too. I don't know. We might
Well,
already
they gotta do it now. They gotta
we
hop
might,
on it right
we
now.
might already
Yeah.
be too far though.
Yeah,
but
bro.
they could do some kind of really grainy black and white AI footage of just a little ant, a little speck,
Yeah.
shooting layups, pretty much. That's all they did back in the day.
Marv Albert just voiced it
Will,
over. He probably did
I
the
also
game himself
I
live.
also saw a video of Wilt. He was just merchanting. People would shoot it,
He
and
would-
they
yeah,
wouldn't
there
call
was
goaltending, and he would just
goaltending
catch
allowed.
it
Yeah,
and
bro,
flop it.
Yeah, no, and then he look at the
game,
roof like,
his
the fuck are you
teammates-
gonna do?
That's why I
People like,
can't
his
hear it,
teammates
bro.
gotta
The
hate
stuff
him.
they were allowed to do to put them where they are, they literally, bro. It's bad, bro. Great players for their time, but
How
it's
does
just,
Bob Cousy have an A+3 in 2K? Never shot a 3.
Yeah, was Bob Cousy anywhere on this list, bro? He couldn't dribble with his left hand.
Bad
man.
eats.
Jalen Brown couldn't either.
Terrible eats, bro.
Big year for the big dumper. His legacy continues after winning the home run derby. First catcher and switch hitter to ever do that. We'll talk about that and more when we get back on the Big Factor. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Pannone, Rob Watson, and our friends at Garage Beer. Garage Beer comes in just 2 flavors, classic light lager as well as that classic lime. No frills, no bitterness, no IPAs. It's just beer the way you want it to taste, and that's beer-flavored beer. Scan the QR code now or go give their website a visit, drinkgaragebeer.com, to find local retailers who sell garage beer near you. Again, that's drinkgaragebeer.com. Well, we had a lot going on yesterday in the Home Run Derby. We had kids robbing home runs. We had 500 feet home runs, one from O'Neal Cruz, but it was the big dumper Cal Raleigh who claimed victory. First catcher and first switch hitter to ever win the Home Run Derby. He joins Hall of Famer and 3-time Derby champion Ken Griffey Jr. as only members of the Mariners to win the event. Griffey won it 3 times, 1994, 1998, and 1999. Semifinals, 4 advanced were Byron Buxton versus Junior Caminero, Cal Raleigh versus O'Neal Cruz. The final was, of course, Cal Raleigh versus Junior Caminero. He edged out Caminero 18-15. To continue his monster season where he's more than likely going to lead the league in home runs.
Yeah, I mean, congrats to Cal Raleigh. Like it's like winning the slam dunk contest. Don't really need to hang on it for too long. Hopefully, he can keep up his strong season. Ryan, you definitely hinted at it last night, but yeah, these kind of events can fuck up your swing on the right year or the right trip. So hopefully, you can keep that going for the Mariners. Actually, hopefully he doesn't because they're kind of fighting a little bit around where we are.
Yeah.
But there's about 100 stories from last night. I think none of them are good. That was one of the worst events I've ever seen put on by a professional sports organization. I used to love the Home Run Derby as a kid. They've just like totally lost sight of it from point A to Z all across the board. It makes no sense when you have like 8 guys in it. I like Caminero. Like, how many people in this room, if we're being honest, knew who Caminero was at this time yesterday? Maybe not a ton. I mean, like, he's not that big of a name. Like, there are guys in this derby who like not everyone knows. There's guys who aren't really power hitters.
I wasn't really familiar with him.
Yeah, exactly. And there's nothing wrong. He just debuted last year. People don't know who he is. He's not a start yet. And Jazz Chisholm, like, why the hell was he in the home run derby? Like, he hit ground balls. Like, Austin Hedges literally would have done better. I'm being so serious. Like, I don't know how a Major League Baseball player does not hit more than 3 home runs. Shout out to Big Factor guest and Carlos Vargas show host Gab Gowdy for the donation on that one. That's like just a bad $25 out of you. But I don't know, man. It's just bad. The event's bad. Why did you ever go away from 10 outs? 10 outs was what made the event what the event was, and they got rid of it. And Chris Berman's gone, which is stupid.
This is
Man,
like
how about Pat McAfee?
That was my next point.
Dude, he's a loser. I'm all the way out on him.
What do you do?
too.
What happened?
He's
annoying.
A lot of people don't want Pat McAfee in the baseball space. I understand it. Pat McAfee is a certain type. He's an acquired taste. I'll say that. He's a very bro.
He's also a football player.
And that works out well with a lot of football players. The in your face, the fire in your eyes, but that's not really baseball. And I understand baseball fans having an issue with it. I know Keith Olbermann was retweeting bad stuff about Pat McAfee in the baseball world. Jack, I feel as though I thought about you. I thought you probably feel the same way, but I don't want to speak for you.
And Ryan, I really appreciate you being a great friend and choosing to not speak for me, but I do agree with you. You were actually right about where my head is at. You know, when I grew up, there was a day and a time where Chris Berman would drink 5 or 6 Coors Lights, walk up to the booth, and just go back for 2 hours. And it was like the best thing on the sports calendar every single year. You got ready for the ESPYs, and now it's gone. They just ruined it. What?
Can you do that one more time?
Back. I think I do it terrible, actually.
No,
but,
I thought that's pretty good.
That's
Thank you.
crazy though, because the same thing with like wrestling is happening with McAfee, bro. People, it is like an acquired. You either like him or you don't, and it's like there's the people that really like their niche thing that he'll kind of come into, and he brings the audience, and you see why they like him. But it's like he never is like just what you think of when you think of it. Like as a wrestling commentator, people complain all the time about how he'll call the matches and everything and what it'll take away from. It's like
I understand baseball's point of view though of trying to incorporate that to get some younger fans.
It's
very, very smart.
Because
like,
the same thing. I think of sports that I necessarily wouldn't want Pat McAfee to invade are baseball and then like golf.
Golf, yeah.
Like it would be fun. He would get stuff out of like Bryce DeChambeau, but there's purists, I think of Bruce Drennan top of the list, who I got a feeling weren't too fond of Pat McAfee invading the baseball space. But if you're baseball and you're Rob Manfred, I understand the attack plan with that.
To be a fly on the wall in Bruce Drennan's condo as Pat McAfee has the microphone and he screams Cal Riley has the fattest ass of any professional athlete.
Kyle Lowry entered the chat.
Bruce was probably like, what kind of amateur hour broadcasting is this?
what happened to the sport that I love?
Who's this jabron?
Who is Big Dumper?
Anyway, but in terms of the product, Jazz Chisholm, that's not good. I understand you can't force Shohei Ohtani. You can't force Aaron Judge. I know Jose Ramirez wasn't able due to health, but you can't force guys like that. Same thing with the slam dunk contest. But having Jazz Chisholm go out there and hit 3 home runs is just horrible for the event.
He was like probably, and he's a very popular player, so I get like having him in for the fans. But if you're just going purely off of like should be in the home run derby, he's probably somewhere between 300th and 400th in the Major League Baseball of people I'd take to go. But even the swing off, I thought, or the lack thereof, sucked when Brent Rooker didn't advance because of like the 5 inches or whatever it was. I think that whole thing was just beyond stupid. Like, you have everyone there in the building. You might as well just do a swing off. Nick, you were there in 2019, I know, with Dave. When it was in Cleveland, we had a swing off. I was there as well. It was like one of the coolest things I've ever watched in person before. But also, if you can find out during a home run derby that a ball is like, I don't know, 3 inches further than another one, why the hell do we have umpires still? That's my question for you, Luke Gable. Why do we have umpires?
You really, this is like, it's crazy hearing it from another, like a fan of a different sport, because it really is just the whole slam dunk contest thing for the past like 20 years, really, since like 2016.
But the issue here is the issue with baseball is like this was the last, like the home run derby. I think that here's the scary part of the convo that we're having right now. The home run derby was the last good event. The Pro Bowl stinks and has for years.
There's no fix to
the
that.
NBA All-Star game, like the 3-point shootout is really what you're tuning in for now, where it was never that way before. It was always the dunk contest, and that's not the same. The home run derby was kind of the gold standard for All-Star Week events, and the fact that it just kind of under-delivered. I don't think we could say that it's dead yet, because I do think baseball and baseball players are the type where they could rally next year and be like, hey, like we can't have that happen again. And maybe you have, Cal Raleigh tries to defend his title. That would be a good storyline. But then you need some of the bigger names. Like if Ohtani and Judge don't want to do it, that's fine. But there are others, like you mentioned, guys that you would take over Jazz Chisholm, like Soto, Lindor.
Dude, I would watch, because we watched it 8 years in a row. I would sit there like a damn fool and watch Vladdy and Pete Alonso go back-to-back hitting baseballs for hours and hours and hours, and I'll pick my stupid little head up and follow. I mean, it's so fun to watch when you have actual guys in there with real power.
It is different, though. I feel like it's the one event that should be timeless, because you could see a home run hit so many different ways.
Yeah, like dunks. You can only do so many dunks.
There's
right?
like we've seen people do between the legs from the free throw line. I don't know how much more crazy it's gonna get than that. But the home run derby's essence is the same thing, but it's special because of the different people and the different ways they could do it and how far it may go. But
The one thing I'll say, though, is I thought this was where Nick was going at first, but he ended up talking more about the All-Star Weekend in general. I kind of think the Home Run Derby is the one day of the year that baseball actually has, like, the nation's attention. Like, even the All-Star Game tonight, I'm sure we'll talk about it at some point, but, like, I'm probably not going to watch a ton. I'm going to want to watch Quan bat, and then that's about it. Like, Jose's not playing. I don't really give a shit. We don't have any pitchers. Like, people don't care about the All-Star Game as much. It's the Home Run Derby. So if you're not winning that day anymore, when are they going to win? Because not everyone cares in October unless their team's in it.
Speaking of the All-Star game, that is indeed tonight. Paul Skeens versus Tarek Skubal. The NL opens up as a -115 favorite over under 7.5 runs. Anybody betting the All-Star game? Anybody going to watch it?
I think the one coolest story I'll take away from the weekend is Joey Faf's boy, The Miz, from the Brewers, gets into the All-Star game after only 5 career starts in the major leagues, which we haven't really talked about on the show yet. Like, kind of cool. I mean, it's a gimmick, though, in my opinion. I'm a little bit upset about it just because I thought that there were multiple candidates who have put up a full season's, like, 16, 17 starts now by this point in the year, like Sanchez from the Phillies and a couple of other guys. Like, there were names out there who were deserving of an actual All-Star spot. Not that Miz wasn't, but, like, 5 spots and you're in the All-Star game. Like, I don't know.
All right, let's take a last break and we get back on the big factor. We talk a lot about pro football. We talk decent amount about college football. We never talk about high school football. Teddy Bridgewater suspended from his high school where he coaches after allegedly providing what they call, quote, impermissible benefits to his players. We ever going to get to the day? No, of course we're not, where you're paying high school athletes, but damn, sometimes it feels like it. We'll talk about that when we get back on the big factor. everybody, welcome back to the Big Factor on the Big Play Sports Network. I'm Ryan Tyler. He's Jack O'Rourke. He's Nick Pedode.
Yeah,
He's
Jack,
Rob
how was that?
Watson.
It was good. It was fun. I had a great time. You know, I was thinking I was gonna be leaving work in a little bit, and I rolled into the room, and you know, Hanford made a couple of funnies. We were just hanging out for a bit, talking. Everyone was just in a good mood, kind of vibing, hanging out, and then Gab Cruz was like, "Guys, I gotta run. I gotta go. I got some Progressive Field right now." And I was like, "Oh, geez, what's happening?" Pat McGuire looks at me, says, "Get up there," and next thing you know, we were talking about the Cleveland Browns, Nick. But it was a good time. I think we're going to touch on some uniforms here in a minute, but Hanford had some thoughts on the Browns, proposed the new helmets. Yeah, so yeah, we definitely had a good time yesterday. Joey Pfaff clapped us in.
Well, Teddy,
Hanford was, real quick, I should have gave him the video. Hanford's face in that video of how confused he looks when everyone starts clapping is one of the funniest things of all time.
He goes along with it, though.
Oh, yeah, but then he hops right on it.
Hanford was on one yesterday talking to me about
all
the
the way on
Judkins stuff, bro. Hilarious.
but you had a good time, Jack?
Yes,
Glad to hear that.
great time.
Well, Teddy
Having fun.
Bridgewater's in the news because he's suspended for giving what they call, quote, impermissible benefits to his high school players. Bridgewater confirmed his suspension by Miami Northwestern in a Facebook post on Sunday. Quote, he said the suspension came from MNW, that is his high school's abbreviation, and it's impossible to suspend someone who doesn't work for you. So I don't quite understand that.
He's a volunteer.
Oh, he says, so if I'm suspended from NW, I'm free to go to another school of my choice, but I'm not going anywhere. Suspension appears to be linked to a July 7th social media post in which Bridgewater acknowledged covering transportation, meals, and recovery-related costs for his players during the 2024 season. Well, hey, his first season there, he won them a state championship. This just talks about NIL, and I know this is high school and there's no NIL in high school, but the world of NIL is just so mind-boggling. Nick, we talk sometimes about having gray hairs.
Yeah.
When I play NCAA 26 and I have to deal with recruiting, I get more gray hairs. I can't even fathom having to do it in real life. The transfer portal, recruits coming in and out, it's just a nightmare. And you saw the kind of philosophy. I don't know if philosophy is the right word, but Nick Saban stepping away from the game.
You saw it kill off a lot of really good college coaches.
It did, who just weren't either suited for recruiting or it's just they already cemented their legacies. Why bother?
Yeah.
It's a headache.
Because it's like it's a why bother thing because like it's no long like Saban was a great recruiter. Urban Meyer was a great recruiter. But NIL, the one thing that it kind of does is it does level the playing field a smidge where it allows some of these guys that might not be mastermind recruiters like Saban who could really walk into a room and be like, hey, you want to go to the NFL? Come to Alabama. Come play for me. That's one pretty easy pitch to have. But now you've got teams, you know, like a lot of the Florida teams, a lot of the California teams, a lot of the Texas teams that have big money because they have big donors, and it makes it pretty damn enticing if I'm an offensive lineman or if I'm a running back or a receiver that could go start at one of these big schools and make millions of dollars while doing so because they got all the NIL. Maybe the NFL ain't, you know, that attractive as it would be to go pay my dues and be a backup at Bama or Ohio State and wait a season or two before I actually get on the field.
I agree with the point, but half of it. I think Urban and Nick were good. They were good coaches, good recruiters, but at the same time, I think it spoke more that Nick was so overwhelmed by the fact that now it's not as simple as I'm just the coach at the best school, so now you got to come play for me. That it shows that maybe there were coaches that were better recruiters than him, but he just happened to be in the best scenario. I think this is always the players. Some of them are going to be divas, sure, but they always deserve to be paid. And there were plenty of stories of guys like Urban Meyer who could get all the talent, but then there were still players transferring before that you get promised to go somewhere and you get there and then it's a whole different story. You get treated like trash. Maybe you don't perform. Now this dude that promised you the world and was your best friend acts like he doesn't even know you. He discards you like trash. At least now players could get some money out of it, regardless if it's for a season or a season only. And the players that do deserve to get paid are going to get paid. So maybe now instead of, I'm this star player from California, but I want to go play. I got to go all the way to Alabama because I want to, make sure I get to the NFL, secure that money. I could stay at USC, get $1 million, play for the home team, be near my family, and still go to the NFL anyway if I'm that talented.
It's not about the X's and the O's anymore. It's the Jimmies and the Joes is what they say. Yeah, recruits will walk in and it's no longer how can you prepare me to go to the NFL? How can you make me a better player, a better human? It's
Put me on the field.
How much money can you give me, and how much playing time?
But at the same time, those coaches were always making millions of dollars at those kids' expense and hard work.
Agreed.
And regardless, like one day their leg could have snapped or a muscle could have torn, and that would have been it for them. And the same time, Nick Saban's still going to walk back in his office and get that X amount of $1 million on his contract. So
that's what's going to make it so hard to peel back. And I know there's a lot of convo now of people that kind of want to peel it back a little bit, and they probably maybe should, because it is kind of the wild, wild west where, you know, we've seen things even in this state where, you know, wires get crossed and kids get gypped out of money, and that's not good. And you probably should have some sort of sanctioning body that looks over NIL on a national scale, but it makes it really hard to pull back anything, because if you pull back anything, it's potentially taking money away from these kids who are putting their bodies on the line, and that's gonna always be the argument on trying to peel it back, is now that you open the tube, like, you can't really put the toothpaste back in there.
Do you guys think it ever gets to high school? I mean,
Yeah.
so serious.
Yeah.
I think it does. I really do.
I do,
Especially
because
the endorsements
There he
and
is?
stuff. Like, yeah, like if you're a player and you're the top player in the nation and Adidas comes to you and they're like, all these kids watch these top high school football players and they're like, we want to put you in the shoes, wear them at your games.
I hope not, dude.
But why not let the kid make the money? That's where I'm at.
See,
bro.
my
Like, why
thing is
not?
college. Yes, I just am putting myself in those shoes, and money. People will say,
Did you work a job in high school?
Of course I did.
Cool. Let him get some shoes.
Money is so much in this world, but at the same time, if I was 16, a 5-star recruit, and I got paid $5 million, I don't think I'd be the best football player I was gonna be.
It happens though, but that'll just
Unfortunately,
the diamonds will get
like,
through, bro.
To
Like,
comprehend at 16 making just $10,000 off of a sport, like,
on the flip side of this, though, Ryan, because you're right, money is the root of a lot of evils, and you give young people a lot of money, and we see in real time the dumb things that have happened, will continue to happen. That's part of life. But think about it from a business side and a business perspective, where if you're one of these brands, you know, you mentioned, Rob, one of the shoe brands, Adidas, Nike. There's a finite amount of professional and collegiate athletes for you to go after. In high school, however, similar to our kind of world here, there's millions, tens of millions of high school athletes who would serve as kind of micro influencers. You see the creme de la creme of the high school product that by the time they become a 4 or 5-star recruit and they're ready to commit to one of these big time schools, they already have tens, if not hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. So there's big time money that could get thrown around at that level, the same way that we're throwing around at the.
A great example. He was literally the most popular high schooler in the nation. He hasn't panned out in college at all. I'm sure he's made a little bit of money, but so many people made money off of him while he was in high school before he even turned 18. Who's to say he doesn't get a piece of that? If you're generating that buzz and you're that guy and someone's going to come and hand you some money, regardless of age, like, so what? If he messes it up, he didn't have the right people around him, he wasn't a good person, it wasn't meant to be. Eventually the money will stop rolling in. Potential's potential. It's happened all the time. I've seen there's stories of plenty of top high school recruits where it didn't pan out even before money because of the popularity and things and the friends that would come around them before.
Cooper Flagg, the same thing. We were talking about Cooper Flagg, and that's one that did work out, you know, and had a great career at Duke, and now ultimately set up to have a really nice career in the NBA. But we were talking about Cooper Flagg when he was in high school. Like, people knew Cooper Flagg was. People knew that he was going to be the next great American #1 overall pick. He would have got big money.
AJ DeBasanta would have made how much money this year?
So much. These kids have influence. When Jeremiah Smith was in high school, every TikTok, like these little, like,
Dude,
the
Tate
small
Martell when he was in high school, remember how big that guy's hype was?
The audience you could tap into gets even younger because they look at these high school. It's so much more attainable than looking at some of these pros. Like, these kids have motion. Is as crazy as like it is what it is. Like, they are real business opportunities, and they may, for some of them, that might be the most they ever get to cash in their lives. And I'm saying, why not let them?
I'm for it.
I just fear a world of baby Gronk dads everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, that's already happening.
You know
it is already kind of happening.
That shit makes me sick to my stomach. Like,
it's already happening.
Like, you are an embarrassment doing that to your kid. Like, call it for what it is.
So are you anti LeVar Ball?
No, that's different because his kids actually,
because they worked out too, man. They were
in high school, and all of them were going to get drafted. I don't even know baby Gronk from, and I'm not trying to shit on a kid at all. I'm just saying it's his dad that's doing it. He's the orchestrator.
Jello never made it.
Yeah.
That's
now
true.
He became a celebrity and he got to stay off it, but he could have made some money. And who
Well,
knows?
I don't think
maybe if
Baby
he
Gronk
did
has
get paid
famous
when he got to
siblings,
UCLA, he wouldn't have been stealing overseas because he would have had money to
I
just
don't-
buy it.
Probably.
To bring this back though to one last point, we've yet to see something in NIL truly like a headline play out in terms of a kid refusing to go to a school, or excusing to get drafted by a team and going back. I think
Right.
that'll happen eventually. Like we saw that with Caleb Williams and the Bears, but that never manufactured anything. But if you're a kid and you're looking at it is, and let's use Cleveland for an example, because who knows that's going to happen, is this kid has the chance to go back to school for another year, make $5 million in NIL, go party it up. Obviously, you're going to be training, and let's call it for what it is. You're still in college.
$5 million at a university. That's like.
And then you get a chance to go
trillionaire.
get drafted by a different team who suits you better. It's going to be an interesting evolution in the NFL, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, before we get out of here, really quick, Jack, you sent me these jerseys.
Yes.
Do you know whose TikTok this is? I want to credit him.
So tough. Oh my goodness.
No, but I'll look it up right now. I still have it.
Anyways,
Those are tough.
these are some. I don't know if these are official obviously, it's Photoshop. I'm not stupid, but
The official ones did drop.
basically, this is the cream ones. These are by far one of the coolest, if not jerseys, in the entire NFL. And Baker Mayfield wearing that is going to win.
Are we
MVP.
going to see some Tampa Bay creamsicle Baker jerseys at
Cohen.
Cleveland Brown Stadium this year?
What's his
or
name,
at
Jack?
Huntington?
Zach Cohen.
Zach Cohen? Shout out Zach Cohen.
Probably.
We're going to see a couple.
These ones for the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's definitely throwback. Reminds me of Terry.
Helmet's mid, but I've always kind of liked the
like those
black
jerseys.
jersey. They should update the helmet. though.
Chargers, literally just you change the hue.
I like that though.
Well,
I
they're
like
going.
the
They're getting
navy.
navy
They already
helmets,
had
is what
that
it is.
jersey.
Navy's tough.
It's a good jersey, but I thought they
And then
already
if
had
I
that.
have to see this next product on my TV screen,
I'm gonna be pissed.
Let's see.
I
it.
will throw up.
Yeah, let's see it.
Helmet
There's
should not
not a
be brown.
reason to ever
There's
wear
no
those.
reason to
That's
wear
the brown helmet.
There's
Ryan,
no reason
I've
to
got
it.
bad news for you, fella.
It's not.
That's
it's,
pretty much it.
Why
Those
is
are-
it-
Oh, is that it?
Those
Why
are
is it glossy?
those are ugly
Dude,
as fuck.
But like
It comes out
would-
tomorrow, but
is that
that's
today?
It would
it.
have to be.
Clown?
It would have to be white jersey.
Do you like
is.
those?
It would have to be white
Do you
jersey,
like those?
brown pants.
I
brown
don't.
helmet, right?
I don't know if I like. My opinion on uniforms is that I have to see it on TV and I have to see it in person before I could make a judgment. Because I like when the Browns redid their jerseys the first time and they were the horrible Cleveland across the chest. Like I actually like those in the photos that they put out. But then when I saw them on the field, I was like, these might be the ugliest things that I've ever seen in my
Here-
life. So I'm willing to hold
Those
my
are
opinion
hideous.
till the season.
they're
But
really
though
bad.
that whatever photo that you just had from wherever that was from, you mentioned the guy. Like that's it. That's
don't
what
like
that's what
the-
they're
That's
announcing
so
tomorrow.
gross.
It should be
It would have
such
to be
a-
white jersey.
I need a
brown
lighter
pants.
brown. Like I was expecting like a matte and then like a lighter brown. This is like super black.
It might
fuzzy
be.
brown.
It might be like a few. It might be a hint lighter.
I don't fuck with the orange face
But,
mask. I'll be honest.
but that's it.
I was
Yeah,
imagining
that's a bad one too,
I don't
Ryan.
like
I
the
didn't even
orange
think of
face.
that.
They're
or
like brown
notice that.
jerseys when Hayden and
That's
Ward
ugly.
were still here. I was expecting that and then like a matte brown shade of like that hue.
I hated those.
And I'm
uniforms.
not sure on the face mask, but the helmet as that's what it's
Are
going
we ready
to
to
be
see
tomorrow.
that on
There
the
you go.
field, bro? The all browns
There
on
you
a
go.
Thursday
Breaking
night football
news
game.
on a factor.
big doom. That's a big doom.
All right, before we wrap, we got to tell you guys about the Geauga County Fair, geaugafair.com. Join us Thursday through Monday over Labor Day weekend. Guys, it is the 202nd Geauga County Fair as we get ready for the 202nd year of our Cleveland Browns suffering. The best thing that you can do this summer before the football season is join us down at Geauga Fair. Geaugafair.com is the way that you could secure those tickets now. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Tickets start at just $10. Children under 6 years old get in for free. Geaugafair.com is the place to go get those tickets now.
Alrighty, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in to the Big Factor. Shout out Fairway Ford. Shout out Garage Beer. Shout out the Geauga Fair. We'll be there. It's going to be a blast. All right, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Nick won't be here, but we'll have a
I'll be
fill-in.
out. I'm speaking on my first ever panel tomorrow,
really?
boys. So
Congratulations.
I'll be a panelist tomorrow.
What is the panel about?
It's about podcasting, so fitting for me.
go
Mentorship thing.
It's with the Cleveland Association of Broadcasters and Independents. So I don't know, like maybe go check out their website and see if it's an event that people could pull up at, and I'll
Meet
be
and
there.
greet, Nick Padone. Let's go. See you guys there tomorrow.
It won't be
Bring a
canceled like
blender.
Quinshon's was. And we're out of here. See ya.